Welcome everyone, this is Kerjims channel. Now we are back to our episodes of 2 similarity chapters and comparison featured by League of Legends versus the Mobile Legends Bang. But before that, please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so you will be notified to our new next episode video. Let's do this!
Katarina is a melee mage and assassin who excels purely at dealing as much damage as possible and taking out entire enemy teams. Katarina specializes in cleaning house at the end of a battle. As enemy champions fall, she can cast her abilities again. Katarina's passive is Veracity. Whenever Katarina kills or assists in the kill of an enemy champion, her ultimate's cooldown is reduced and all of her basic abilities are immediately refreshed. Sing Blade throws out a dagger that bounces from target enemy, damaging each enemy it hits, leaving behind a mark for a few seconds. Katarina's basic attacks or other abilities will consume this mark to deal bonus damage. As Katarina's biggest damage tool, I recommend taking it at level 1 and maxing it immediately. Sinister Steel immediately damages all nearby enemies. If she hits an enemy champion with it, Katarina briefly gains bonus movement speed. Absolutely take a point early to help trigger the marks from bouncing blades. If you want even more burst damage, start maxing it early. Otherwise, save it for last. Shunpo teleports Katarina behind her target, dealing damage if it's an enemy. For the next few seconds, Katarina receives reduced damage. Absolutely take a point at level 2 for the extra mobility Shunpo provides. If you're looking for extra mobility with a little bit of extra damage as well, max Shunpo second. Katarina's ultimate is Death Lotus. When activated, Katarina spins around, constantly tossing daggers at the 3 nearest enemy champions. Struck enemies take massive damage and receive reduced healing for a few seconds. In early laning, you should have 3 goals. First, last hit as many minions as possible. Normally, you should do this with basic attacks, but if a minion is out of reach, use Bouncing Blades. Second, harass your opponent. The mark from Bouncing Blades plus Shunpo deals some nice early damage. Third, you want to dodge your opponent's damage with Shunpo. As Gragas tosses out Barrel Roll, Katarina hops onto him with Shunpo, taking 0 damage and returning some of her own. Katarina's combined damage and elusiveness is exceptional, even with just the use of basic abilities. Here as Gragas and Maokai look to gank her, Katarina first creates some distance with the movement speed from Sinister Steel. Then as Maokai chases her down, she flashes over the wall, jumps to Gragas with Shunpo, and gets farther away with Sinister Steel again. As Maokai dives in, Katarina makes sure to land Ignite, Bouncing Blades, and a basic attack to trigger the mark for bonus damage. Deciding to try her luck against Gragas with under 100 health, she dodges Body Slam with Shunpo, hits Sinister Steel, and picks up a kill with Bouncing Blades. Remember that Katarina's ultimate Death Lotus has a very low cooldown. Because of this, don't hesitate to use it simply to deal a bit of extra damage in an exchange, even if it won't kill. Katarina opens on Gragas with Bouncing Blades into Shunpo, Sinister Steel, and finally Death Lotus. This combination drops Gragas to about half health and sets her up for a future kill. Quickly after, she begins harassing again. Using Flash plus Shunpo to close in unexpectedly, she deals incredible damage with Sinister Steel, Bouncing Blades, and Ignite, grabbing the kill as she walks away through the jungle. As Katarina levels up, her ability to farm minions in large groups is exceptional. Tagging a minion wave with Bouncing Blades and Sinister Steel, she immediately kills 5 of them, and sets up for would-be an easy 6th kill with Shunpo. Always remember that Shunpo can target an ally, including boards. As Katarina gets caught by the enemy team, she flashes to the side, allowing her to Shunpo to rumble in safety. In the absence of nearby teammates, Katarina can also carry sight wards to achieve similar results. Katarina's goal in a fight should be to find the squishiest target she can and kill it immediately. She happens upon Gragas at half health and quickly drops him. With better reflexes, Shunpo would have also killed Tristana, as her basic cooldowns refresh upon kill or assist. With all enemy stuns on cooldown, Katarina fully channels Death Lotus, picking up 2 more kills for her team. In a team fight, Katarina's most important decision is exactly when to initiate. If she heads in too early, she'll be focused and killed, but if she goes too late, her team will fall without her. As Xin Zhao gets low, she hits Bouncing Blades, flashes for Sinister Steel, and then Shunpos to Maokai to channel Death Lotus. The assist on Sinjao refreshes her cooldowns, allowing her to burst Maokai. That kill refreshes her cooldowns again, giving her the kill on Gragas. Once Gragas falls, she unloads her full combo once more on Tristana, picking up the ace of what was ultimately a 3 versus 5. In one final teamfight, Katarina employs all her tricks once more. Opening up on Maokai, he targets her with Twisted Advance. Targeting a teammate with Shunpo, she gets away from her opponent, wasting Maokai's initiation. Once Leona follows in, she looks to charge to the back line, channeling Death Lotus onto Sinjao and getting an assist on Leona. This allows her to dive back in, hitting bouncing blades on the enemy team and triggering the mark with Sinister Steel, picking up a triple kill. I recommend building Katarina with heavy emphasis on offense through ability power, with a splash for durability to survive being in melee range in teamfights. Try magic penetration marks, health per level seals, ability power per level glyphs, and movement speed quintessences. 21-9-0 Masteries can work well, taking magic damage masteries in offense, plus health and minion damage reduction in defense. Ignite and Flash both allow Katarina to chase down and pick up kills in order to fuel her passive and continue to dominate in teamfights. Consider opening with Boots of Speed and Health Potions, while rushing for Hextech Revolver and Sorcerer Shoes. Upgrade to Hextech Gunblade and then choose your next items carefully. Graviton's Death Cap adds the most pure damage. Abyssal Scepter grants damage and survivability against magic damage. Zonia's Hourglass grants damage, durability against physical damage, and the ability to wait for cooldowns mid-fight. Void Staff is more of a late-game item if your opponents start to build magic resist.
Probably will find fun because, well, she's great at Pentakill. Let's be real. She is. That's kind of what she does. She's a really good champ to just honestly beat people up real bad. The thing with Katarina is that she is highly countered by crowd control. Basically meaning that if you're playing against teams with a lot of crowd control, then you are probably really gonna struggle and have a hard time, and you're gonna have really know what you're doing. So in this video, we'll try and talk about what to be aware of, how to play her and how her abilities work, how they work together, how you can jump over walls, because there are some tricks to that you can use to get away or catch up to people, or just in general. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff with her, and we'll talk a bit about her combos as well, about how you can maximize your damage. But the thing with Katarina is that her combos are really situational. I can tell you that one combo is gonna be the ideal thing, but during fights it's really gonna be coming down to a subjective matter of this individual fight, and that's where I personally think that Katarina becomes pretty difficult, and that's the reason, or at least that's one of the reasons why starting out with Katarina is probably not the place I would tell him. But with that said, don't get discouraged. If this is the champ that you really want to play, then go for it. She is really good. At least on lower elos where people don't really know how to stop her, then she's, wow, really? Then she's really strong. And yeah, if you're looking to have a champion that you can carry a friend with, then yeah, might also be it. It's really not bad at all. Just get away from that. It's really not a bad champion. It's a really good one, but she is kind of weird. So yeah, if you're mediocre at the game or intermediate, then I would definitely say try this champ if you like the feel of it, because you are going to be able to do quite a lot with her and have a lot of fun, especially before you on rating below platinum. Then she's really going to be insanely strong, because yeah, as I said, people don't really know how to stop her, meaning that you'll really be able to take advantage of this. Alright, with that said, let's talk a little bit. Ooh. Can I get this? No. Oh, we can. Alright, nice. I'll tell you what I did there, just really quickly, just so people don't think that I completely messed up. I was a little afraid I wouldn't reach him, but the reason why I flashed and then which allowed me to catch up to him. So that's the reason why I did that. I know it looked kind of freaky and kind of weird, and it didn't go perfectly, but it worked. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Katarina's spell. So her first spell is her passive, and her passive is called Veracity. I think that's how you pronounce it. And Veracity is a pretty cool one. What this thing does is that it I think we'll just back real quick. What this thing does is that it allows Katarina to pick up her daggers whenever she throws one. If she catches this dagger or walks over them as they're lying on the ground, then Katarina does basically this little spin. Like, she basically does a little spin around, and she deals damage to anything within a small area around her. So that's a very cool thing. And additionally, it also resets most of the cooldown of your E. It resets 90% up to, I think it's up to 96% at max range, or when you're a max level. It's based on level as far as I know. So it's you walk over someone, and you just see right there how often we could reset or E cooldown. Not whenever you walk over someone, whenever you kill someone, or Katarina deals damage to someone that dies within let's get this. Within 3 seconds of Katarina doing damage to it, she gets 15 seconds cooldown reset on all of her spells. Portion of its cooldown back. And this means that actually in team fights, especially as you're gonna start getting cooldown reduction from items, then you are gonna be able to basically get that one. To basically use your ult more than once throughout a team fight, and this is insanely good. So yeah, you really need to know this passive. Super simple. I'm gonna shortly summarize. Daggers can be picked up, resetting your E. Whenever you kill someone, it deals, or Karina deals damage to someone, you reset 15 seconds of all of her CDs. Alright, let's go down here. See if we can do something. Can we? Might be too risky, actually. Yeah, it's too risky. I'm not gonna go for it. Another trick I want to show you guys is that you can actually jump to neutral objects such as this one. Just wanted to show you. But we'll talk about the E in just a moment. So yeah, our next spell is OQ, and you guys probably noticed what OQ does so far. All it does is that whenever we throw it on a target, then it bounces to 3 targets and lands on the ground. Super simple. What confuses most people is where this dagger lands, because a lot of people think it's random. It's actually not. It lands right behind the target that you aimed on. So, can we do anything down here? No. Okay, so imagine that you're here, and I can just show you a wall jump while we're here. If I throw my Q on this one, then it's gonna land behind it. So actually right here, I can throw it on that one, and I can jump onto the other side of the wall. This is something you can use in the jungle for catching up to people or fleeing, is jumping over walls. Let's get that one. I think we're gonna roam top in a moment. Can we? I'm gonna start moving up here at least. But yeah, it just lands opposite or like in a line from where you shoot it, so just behind the target. Pretty often you don't want to initiate the fight with your easy to predict. Like whenever you throw this spell, as you guys probably noticed, then the dagger lands on the ground, making it very obvious if you jump to that one. So pretty often you don't want to initiate the fight with your Q, but we'll talk more about that as we get into the combos. But just know, it hits 3 targets, it deals damage to all 3 of them, and it lands behind the target that you aimed at, so the one that you shoot it at. It's called preparation. This preparation is highly underrated because it can it can honestly do a lot of cool things. First of all, it throws a dagger into the air. That's probably the most significant thing for it. Ooh. I'm much higher level than these guys. So I'm just gonna... Ooh.